our National Tree Planting Day. I have heard from the speech of the governor, my good friend, Professor Nyang' Nyong'o, when he refers to the great Professor Wangari Maathai. Today, Professor Wangari Maathai must be delighted from heaven. I'm sure she's sitting somewhere under a tree, watching over what we are doing throughout the country today. When we have crossed this country for innovation, today Kenya has been closed for innovation because Kenya was broken. And in his wisdom, President William Samoei Ruto decided that there is no bigger duty, there is no bigger work that we can do today than repairing what we have destroyed within Mother Earth. And so today, we have got people all over the country. Our entire government have just come from Nandi. Mr. Owino here was representing me in Siaya, and I'm here in Kisumu today. And we have got all ministers, some going to 3 counties today, others 2 counties, because today we decided it is whole of government approach, serikali moja, kushirikiana, kuchunga mambo ya mazingira. But I think the lady from KFS has said something also profound. That it's not just whole of government approach. It is actually whole of society approach. And for me, that is very important. So today we are here, all of us, joined together in this exercise. Because if we don't do something, to repair the environment and Mother Earth is going to teach us a very ruthless lesson. And it's not new. We are seeing it. Last year, we lost animals, livestock, worth Kenya shillings, US dollars, 1.8 billion to drought. We continue to pay a very heavy price from climate change. As we say that, even as we do our duty and we do what we must do, we must also not forget that we are part of a global community. And we are going to do our part to plant trees, to conserve the environment, and to actually mitigate the effects of climate change. But we also must ask difficult questions. Africa contributes 22% of the land mass in the world. 14% of the global population is in Africa. Yet only 2% of GDP is found in Africa. 1% of the carbon emissions in the world is what Africa contributes. And Africa receives only 1% in terms of green investment or climate investment. And therein lies some unfairness. So, President William Samoei Ruto, as the chair of the African Climate Change Head of State and Government, which we call CAHOST, recently hosted the Africa Climate Summit, bringing together the entire world to make a commitment that we must do something to mitigate the effects of climate change. But also, he has lent us his voice to achieve a fairer global system of climate justice. To ask ourselves, how can a region that only contributes 1% of GDP, that only contributes 1% of carbon emission, be on the same level of expectation with those who pollute? So what we are doing today is because our commitment to fulfill our part is unconditional. We are going to do it because it's the right thing to do and because we have no one to blame for the effects. But as we do that, we must ask that difficult question of what the rest of the world is doing to ensure that they do their part in penance for the sins that they commit in polluting our environment and in carbon emission. This is not something that we can ask as a favor. As we move towards COP28 in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, in the next 3 weeks, this is a question that will linger. This is a question that we are going to fashion to be on the topmost of the agenda of the world. We cannot go to another COP. COP29 cannot come and find us talking about the same issues of the money that the developed world promised, 100 billion US dollars, to assist the developing world to come up with adaptation measures, to come up with measures to mitigate the effects that are punishing the global south more than the global north. As we speak today, none of that money has trickled through. And we are going to take to Dubai this question: how many COPs do we require for us to get what we all agreed willingly that we are going to be partners in this? So this is a very important day as we move towards increasing our tree cover to 30% by the year 2032, and where we are expected to plant 15 billion trees. My ministry is contributing in several ways in this endeavor. First, we are responsible for something called performance contracting and delivery management. And so therefore, the targets that have been assigned to every department, to every ministry, they come directly under the purview of my ministry, and we are going to do everything to ensure that everybody, every state department, every public officer lives to this commitment. Secondly, today we were joined by the National Youth Service, which is also in my ministry. The National Youth Service has contributed, just today alone, 2.5 million seedlings being distributed across the entire country. And here in Kisumu, our 50,000 trees, which we have donated from the National Youth Service, are on the way. Madam Regional Commissioner and County Commissioner, we hope that once you receive these trees, you'll mobilize everybody, society, county government, teachers, students, churches, to ensure that over the next few days, we actually exhaust these trees that we have donated. As we have been told by the team leader from the National Youth Service, we have also 100 servicemen and women who have been donated to assist Kisumu County to ensure that all these trees are planted. And finally, the Kenya School of Government is working with international partners to set up the Global Center for Climate Adaptation in Africa. And that also falls within my ministry, so that we can become the center of excellence on climate adaptation and to ensure that Kenya takes its leading role in these affairs. So let me congratulate everybody, thank all the partners who have really come forward to contribute to this. Niseme wananchi, hatuna dunia ingine. Hii mazingira ni blanketi. Hii ndio Mhindi atajifunika, Mchina atajifunika, Mzungu atajifunika, hata jo Kisumu atajifunika hii mazingira. Hatuna ingine. So therefore, we must all come together to ensure that we do what we must do. Na vile mmeona leo, serikali yote, Kenya yote imesimama. Tumesema afadhali kazi yote isimame, tumalize hii kazi ya mazingira. Nimalizie kwa kusema lazima sisi zote tufanye kazi pamoja. Ushirikiano ambao nimeupata hapa ni maoni yangu na ni mapenzi yangu. Ningetaka tushirikiane, idara zote, serikali ya ugatuzi, serikali ya kitaifa, idara hii na idara hii, ndio tuweze kufanyia wananchi kazi. Na vile rais alikuwa hapa juzi na akasema ya kwamba hii maneno ya maendeleo tutafanya Kenya mzima. Hata nyinyi watu wa Kisumu katika serikali ya William Samoei Ruto, acha nini ni shareholders. Kwa hivyo mjisikie mko ndani ya hii serikali, na tungetaka kutembea huko mbele pamoja. Wakati wa siasa utafika. Kwa wakati huu ni tushirikiane pamoja, tuungane pamoja, tupeleke Kenya mbele. Na mimi naamini kona zote za Kenya hii zimepewa vipawa tofauti na Mwenyezi Mungu. Hapa mko na mambo ya blue economy. Hapa mko na maneno ya miwa. Kwingine wako na mifugo. Kwetu tuko na kahawa. Wengine wako na majani chai. Wengine wako na madini. Tukichangia hizo zote, tukusanye pamoja, tutaweza kupeleka hii Kenya mbele. Hakuna haja kona moja ikuwe ndio imeachiwa mzigo. Hii mzigo tunataka tugawanye kaunti zote, kila mtu ashirikiane ndio tuweze kupeleka Kenya mbele pamoja. Kwa hiyo machache na mengi, sema Mungu awabariki na tuendelee kufanya kazi mpaka majumbani kwetu, mpaka hili janga la uharibifu wa mazingira tuweze kuimaliza. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.